And Rob G, when is scheduled day? Is it at 5 o'clock today? Correct.
It's right now.
It's happening.
Is the NFL doing too much? How they milking this thing? My gosh.
I'll tell you what. You want to know?
Leaked.
I mean, we already know the NFL is king, and that's kind of been established just on the TV ratings. The fact that they can make an entire nation of people care about a schedule when we already know who's playing who.
At least twice a season.
We know that 3 months in advance because they already list out, hey, these are you're going to be your 15, 16 opponents, and we'll just figure out when you play them.
Yep. Do we? Okay, let me ask you this.
It's the most pathetic thing I've ever seen.
This is one time I wonder, are they over? Is it not as big as they think, Rob? Like, did they think we really care? Is this the one thing where we're actually NFL?
No,
we don't care?
People just it's a random Wednesday night, right? And that's what it is. It's just nothing. Right. There's nothing going on. I mean, and they'll pay attention to it. It doesn't mean they're going to turn off the football game. Or if you're a Phillies fan or whatever, you're not going to watch the Phillies game for the schedule. I already know what division the Eagles are playing, right? So I do know that. All right, now I can finally look at the schedule.
And I know my division,
right.
so I always like 3 games left.
Right, there's like 3 other games. It's not like, oh, my God, I can't believe they're playing the Jets this year. No, you know.
That's why I say this is the one thing where it's all right.
But you know what's even worse worse than this, because this is still going to get like, for ESPN and NFL Network combined, probably like 2 million viewers of people just watching the schedule.
I know.
This is still light years more acceptable than 750,000 people in Green Bay standing outside to watch a name being called from a kid that you've never heard of. We got that left tackle, Louisiana Tech, baby. We back. Is he any good? I don't know, but we drafted him second round.
But it's just you make something out of nothing from the standpoint of
they've mastered that.
You live in Green Bay. There's nothing going on. Well, they're having this. Well, how could I not go? It doesn't happen all the time. So if you move it around, right? So Detroit got it for the first time.
Yeah,
it was huge because they had never had. Oh my God, it's here. Yep. The one time it come to Detroit, it might be Rob G. If you rotate it 30 years before it comes back, so that's your incentive to make you want to go out. If it happened every year, trust me, there wouldn't be 750,000 people in Green Bay if it happened all the time.
I don't know, Rob. The NFL, one thing they have mastered, they sell hope.
Well, but that's it because
they sell hope. Every year, that's why the schedule. All right, we can beat them. The Colts aren't that good. And look, the Vikings aren't going to be as good because they lost Sam McDermott. Like, they're selling
and it's
hope.
only 17 games.
I worked in Detroit for 20 years, and then people tried to tell me every year
it was their year.
They would, yes, I used to just sit. The fans would
I
tell.
don't. Yeah, you ain't lying. I don't know why they. I was there, and I don't know why they would say that. Because I said, who throwing the ball?
Oh no, it was Matt Millen's the GM. Oh, Matt Millen won 4 Super Bowls. He's a football guy. Finally, Chuck Schmidt is out.
Then you got fired.
Then it was like, then they had Marty Morningwig as a coach. Oh, yeah, good young coach. They got Steve Mariucci, flamed out.
Bob Ross.
Terrible.
What about Ross?
Bobby Ross, Boss Ross. Oh, yeah. Dude, I could go on and on and on. But
unfortunately, you can.
Rob,
then you got Matt Millen fired.
yeah, I know, Rob. You
look how you're ignoring me.
That's why he wasn't at your 60th birthday party.
Is that why?
That's why.
Grudge.
Man.
But anyways, the schedule is out now across the league. Everybody's getting theirs. And as you guys know, we talked to plenty of football players, both past and current. The first thing that they look at is, number 1, when's your bye? And number 2, how many primetime games we got. Because that's one thing they're very excited about. Everybody wants to show up and show out on Monday night, on Sunday night, so on and so forth. Well, the Kansas City Chiefs, the new America's team, are now the first team in NFL history to receive 5 primetime games in their first 8 weeks of the season. They got the Chargers in Brazil. We talked about that. Giants Sunday night. Jags Monday night. Lions Sunday night. Commanders Monday night. Oh, yeah, and they're also playing on Thanksgiving and Christmas. So basically, half of the Chiefs' games this season will be in some kind of primetime spotlighted game. Rob Parker, your thoughts?
The NFL needs to stop living in the past. The Kansas City Chiefs are the worst watch in the NFL. And you'll say, well, what about Tennessee? What about some of the other teams like that? There were no. Where they are now compared to what we first started watching the Chiefs, These games are unwatchable. Patrick Mahomes, no vertical. He's not throwing the ball downfield. Dinking dunks. Throwing interceptions. Every game ends for the Chiefs by 3 points because the other team made a mistake or missed a field goal. That's how they win the game. It's not a Patrick Mahomes 75-yard bomb. It'd be different if we didn't see that from the beginning. Do you get my point on why they're the worst watch? Literally. I'd rather watch reruns of Gilligan's Island.
No, but you really would, though.
I would.
But I mean, you actually would enjoy that, is the point.
I mean, the Chiefs, their games are terrible. 19-17. They used to blow people out 40, 50 points. You were like, wow. That's why everybody hook, line, and sinker. Oh, Patrick Mahomes is going to be the GOAT. Really? Have you watched the last 2 years? The NFL's living in the past. They think they still have Seinfeld ratings. No, they don't. This is not Seinfeld. This is Cringefeld. That's what this is. Because you cringe when you watch the Chiefs. You go, is Patrick Mahomes really this bad? I thought he was going to be the GOAT. He's not. Andy Reid, you thought he was an offensive genius. Those aren't plays. That's a Denny's menu. That's why they can't score any runs, any points. And I go, you know how many times I'm like, I cleared my Monday night schedule to watch this garbage? My TV stinks when I'm watching the Chiefs game. That's how bad it is.
Oh, my.
The NFL has blown a gasket by delivering all these games to the Chiefs.
It's crap.
They're not worth it. They're the chefs, not the Chiefs.
Boy, that's why I'm glad I'm here, Elijah. To bring some sanity to that's why it's called the odd couple, because somebody got to be on the other side of this absurdness that you're saying right now. Now, I do agree with you that the Chiefs ain't chiefing like they used to. Okay, the Chiefs ain't giving it with it, like you mentioned, Pat Mahomes, 45 touchdowns. I'll give you that. However, you are generally rewarded in life when you've been successful. You are successful, people will give you some slack. So the slack is being given. Hey, Kansas City Chiefs, you weren't necessarily as exciting, but you have been very exciting for us for all these years and one of the most fun teams to watch for the first handful of years of this Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid run. Therefore, you're being rewarded. Also, Rob Parker, Mr. Facts Over Feelings, let me present some to you. 25.5 million viewers per game last year, making them the most watched team in the league. And they have been right there for the last handful of years. So people are watching them because they either love them, it's exciting, maybe they do want the old Patrick Mahomes, or they're hate watching them. I agree. Some people are hate watching him. And you mentioned he might not be the GOAT. Well, he is on his way to potentially being the GOAT. And you know what else the GOAT used to do? Tom Brady? He was the king of the dink and dunks. All he threw was 3-yard slants to pick a small receiver. Amendola, Wes Welker. That's all he did. So he did the same thing for years and was rewarded successful championships, high ratings. People watch the Patriots. They hate watch them. It didn't matter. They watch. So I also think the league knows, Rob, they're going to be on a revenge tour. They're about to go 0 dark 30.
Please. And
they didn't have Rasheed Rice. He'll be back and healthy.
Yeah, okay.
He was balling the first few weeks before he got injured.
Here we go.
Worthy, Brown.
Selling this whole thing.
And
have you watched
and
Patrick?
mind you,
have you watched all the interceptions? Like
right,
I always
he
love
didn't
that.
have his receivers.
Okay.
His best receiver was not there.
So
his best
because he
receiver
didn't have
was
his
a
best
rookie.
receiver, he threw to the other team. Is that what happened?
Who he throwing to?
I
need some help.
So he threw to the other team because not to the guy who was running the play. Great players make anybody who come in. That used to be Tom Brady's claim to fame. They got a guy from Dunkin' Donuts, and now he's catching passes from Tom Brady, right? Okay, so Patrick Mahomes, shouldn't that be the same case if he's supposedly some GOAT?
He absolutely tuned to the tune of 15-2, Rob. Boy,
Please.
If I let you tell it, and I just fell from Mars, I would think the Chiefs were 2-15. They didn't make it to the Super Bowl, Rob.
The only reason that the Chiefs get good ratings is exactly what the NFL just did. They give them all the prime time slots, so that's when people watch the games on the big nights. If you give them, what are they? Opening night, right? From where are they? Brazil? That's the start of football. You're not going to get monster ratings the first night of a real football game after 8 months? I don't care who's playing.
If I put the Jags on a Monday night at times, the Jags ain't they're not going to draw like that.
Yes, the first night.
Draw. Oh, first night. I'll give you that. First night is first night. I'm not going to argue
the first night.
But if I put the Jags on a Monday night, Jags Bears, that Monday night is not going to draw like if I put Chiefs Eagles.
Okay, now you work on television. You got a TV job during the day. So let me explain the ratings to you and help you out. Even the New York Football Giants averaged 21 million viewers a game. You know why? Not because it was good football or they wanted to see Danny Dimes and those other guys. It's because they had 5 primetime games. It's nothing. It's about the schedule where you are in the game more so. Tell me the Giants were not pathetic last year. They were
glad
awful.
You said that, Rob.
21 million?
They literally live in a city with 21, 30 million people. That's why they did draw numbers.
It's 8 million people and they're 2 football teams.
Okay,
Everybody's
that's the literal city. Don't do that, Rob. New York City, the metropolitan New York area. Boy, y'all New Yorkers. Y'all like to separate. 1 minute it's we all together, baby, New York City. Then it's no, only this borough, 4 million people. Make up your mind. Is it New York City, all of y'all? Or is it just a borough, one of the 5 boroughs? Boy, I tell you, 8 million people in New York City. You know the metro area is like 30 million people. Just like L.A., Los Angeles might have 4 million people, the city. The greater Los Angeles area is like 20 million people, 18 million,
5
whatever
million.
it is.
I think L.A. has 5. New
5
York has
million
8. Philly has... what is it? And then Chicago has 3.
Yeah, and then
I mean in the city limit. Because when you start looking at what people don't even understand when you talk about 8 million in New York, Boston only has like 600,000 people in Boston proper.
Yep.
600,000.
That's what makes it crazy.
Detroit only has 400,000 in the city proper.
You know Detroit is the only metropolitan big city in America to ever go over 1 million people in population and then go under?
But never happened, right?
Because you're thriving. You're just moving on up. Dang it, Detroit. That was
all right.
Yeah.